Seniors celebrate their final week virtually. As the seniors end their Belen careers, student council elections take place next week. But how will it work? Hello Belen, I'm Matthew Cardoso, and welcome to this episode of WBLN News. This week was Senior Week, a week filled with virtual events that gave the seniors one last chance to bond with their classmates. With the seniors finishing their last week of school, Senior Week has officially come to an end. Even though the seniors are stuck at home like the rest of us, they have made the best of the situation. Kicking off Senior Week was a student versus faculty Jeopardy game, with the students ending up on top. Wednesday, the seniors had their last lecture by Mr. Ortiz, and Thursday was a virtual senior section where the seniors could show off their new college gear. The seniors were also able to record their senior video.
I ain't been to MIA. I heard the Cali never rains, and New York's wide awake. First, let's see the West End. I'll show you to my bedroom. I'm liking this American boy, American boy. Take me on your trip, I'd like to go someday. Take me to New York, I'd love to see LA. I really want to come kick it with you. You'll be my American boy, American boy. Can we get away this weekend? Take me to Broadway.
With the help of Mr. Jordan, these stay-at-home activities were made possible.
Cuesta, Valito, and Walsh were three students that were very instrumental in planning the activities for Senior Week and what was going to be done. And the main thing that they kept going back to was whatever event or plan that we kind of adapt to Senior Week, we have to do it where the whole class can be present. We have to do it where the whole class can see each other and maybe chime in or, just be around each other. And knowing that that was really our motivation, designing the activities like the virtual senior section that we're gonna have on Thursday, the last lecture on Wednesday, the Jeopardy game today, that's really what the intention was, to bring everyone together in a community as much as we could. So I hope it's successful. And again, this is something that we would have done regardless, and the same way that you have to stay with the status quo and realize that certain things are not going to change and certain things are just not going to be canceled. This was for us a non-negotiable that we were going to still have a Senior Week. The same way that the second we left school on March 16th, it was an immediate meeting with Romero and Robau, and then later on with Mr. Roca to do the senior video. And I'm very proud of the leadership of 2020 and the class of 2020 for having made sure that senior video was done despite all odds and for engaging and being a part of Senior Week.
Despite the challenges that the quarantine has brought on and cancellation of many events, Student Council will be holding elections next week. But how will it work? Roberto Espin has more.
Belen has held Student Council elections every year. With virtual learning and the COVID-19 pandemic, we'll have to adjust our plans to going forward.
We're going to be moving towards the virtual elections, but we also decided that we wanted to have virtual campaigning as well. There are a number of things that are going to be involved with that. The junior class just finished nominating 3 individuals for president and 3 individuals for vice president. So the president we named is Juanchi Tejeda and Dylan Perez. And then for vice president, they nominated Oliver Romaniak, Manuel Rodriguez Lapido, and Lucas de la Guardia. So we are going to continue to have debates. Those will be recorded and allow anyone who wants to see it to be a part of it. The debates have always been recorded, whether they've been done live or not, always on our YouTube channel. So that'll provide us and other members of the Belen community to see what happens in the debates and what the ideas that the candidates have. So campaign week for Student Council is going to begin the week of May 11th. We ask you guys to take a look at social media, especially, and WBLN, because we'll be posting the commercials that the candidates are going to have, their campaign ads. We want you to look at it because you're also going to see the platforms of each of the candidates published there so that you can see really what the candidates are about.
We can't forget the importance of Student Council despite what is going on. It's important to think about who you want to represent the student body. The president and vice president of this class have an enormous responsibility, bringing Belen back to normalcy and a place to enjoy. For WBLN, I'm Robbie Espin.
What's up, Wolverines? Here are your sports for today. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of the great former Dolphins head coach, Don Shula, who passed last week at the age of 90.
This past week, legendary coach of the Miami Dolphins, Don Shula, passed away at the age of 90. Shula, most known for recording the most wins by an NFL head coach and being a part of the only perfect season in NFL history with the 1972 Dolphins. After a brief pro career, Shula got hired as a defensive back coach for the Detroit Lions. Shula would later become the youngest head coach in NFL history with the Baltimore Colts and won the 1968 NFL Championship. Not much later, he'd become head coach for the Dolphins and lead them to 2 back-to-back Super Bowl victories. Shula would later be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, a 4-time Coach of the Year, NFL 100 All-Decade Team, and would only have 2 losing seasons in his 33-year career as a head coach. Shula was known throughout Miami for bringing the winning edge and for establishing the standard for consistency and leadership.
My name is Louis Zabala. I'm a class of '89 Belen Wolverine. I covered Coach Shula for many years, and I've been in the business working for CBS for 22 years and covered the Dolphins for all those years, plus 2 years in West Palm before that. So I've covered this team for about 25, 26 years. And I'll tell you what, old school, tough guy, but the most important thing about Coach Shula was that his players were all very successful people. He believed in character, he believed in doing things right, he believed in doing things fair, and he always had his respect. And you had to earn his respect. I went to his home many times to interview him about different topics, and he was always, over the years, he became more understanding. He wasn't as stern, he wasn't as hard-nosed, that chin that he's famous for. He kind of let his guard down a little bit, and we had some nice conversations, and I really appreciated being able to be around him. And the one thing that was really important to him was his family and the health of his former players. Everyone loved Coach Shula. They all revered him. They all respected him. And in the end, I guess that's what everybody wants to be remembered for.
Don Shula will go down as one of the premier figures throughout the community of Miami and will always be remembered. Reporting for WBLN, I'm Lucas Consuegra.
On Thursday night, the NFL released the schedule for the 2020-2021 season. Some of the highlighted games for Miami is a Week 1 opener with the Patriots, Thursday Night Football versus the Jaguars Week 3, and a Week 14 matchup with the defending Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. At a 5-11 prediction made by Bleacher Report, Miami looks to shatter that record with their heavy draft and off-season signings. It's been 1 week since the NFL draft, and Dolphin players are starting to adapt to the organization, as rookies have their jersey numbers picked out. 5th overall selection Tua Tagovailoa has changed from his regular number 13 to number 1, and fellow first-round picks Austin Jackson and Noah Igbinoghene has selected 73 and 46. That's all for sports. Now back to Matthew at the desk.
Thank you, Carlos. That's all your news for today. Make sure to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember, stay home, stay safe, and
stay golden, Wolverines.